Can I do a wing with a cat on my lap? We shall see. Hello! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. I was so excited to do the super sweet of you. And that was super sweet of you, sir. As you can see, we have a tiny gentleman behind me. I'm so happy that Bert's been like hanging out in the videos lately. I know you guys love seeing him. I know my mom loves seeing him when she watches my videos. So I'm just so happy that I timed filming this video with Bertram's nap. I think that that is wonderful news for all. But that's not what this video is about. You did not click on this video to see Bert, and if you did, honestly, I fully understand. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, have an interest in me trying some hydraliners from Suva Beauty. So many clicky clacky sounds. This is not a first impressions video. I have tried these one other time. I'm trying to do less first impressions this year so I can give you more thorough reviews. I know I just did a first impressions on the Glisten Spectra paints like a couple weeks ago. I didn't say I was never gonna do first impressions again, but especially when it comes to trying a new brand to me, I think it's important to try things a couple times. Although I shouldn't say Suva is totally new to me because they are actually the first water activated liner I've ever tried. Way back in 2018 when I still had an McPxi subscription, they sent me their Grease Hydraliner. So I was so excited when they reached out a few weeks ago and asked to send me some PR, and they sent me these really cute little split cake liners. I absolutely love the packaging. I think it's so beautiful. And so I've got some matte finishes here. I've also got some gorgeous shimmers in here. Some of them are UV. I'm just really excited to try them on here for you today. Like I said, not my first time trying them, and I already have some thoughts, and they are not 100% positive, but I'm interested to see if me using them again today, if my thoughts change at all. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you want to see me try out these Suva Beauty Hydraliners and give you my second impressions, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching because it's coming at you right now. One thing I will say right off the bat is I didn't love the brush that they sent along with it. I can't even find it right now. I know I tagged it in a reel I filmed on Instagram though, so I'll put a picture of this brush on the screen. Was not a huge fan of this guy. Not that the quality of the brush wasn't good. It's just not my type of liner brush. It was a little too short and a little too thick, whereas I tend to prefer thinner brushes for more precise, crisp lines. I felt like I had to go really thick with the brush that they sent me, so you know, that's only one of their brushes. I'm not writing off all their brushes, but that was the only one I had. So I'm definitely going to be using my Glisten and Advocacy brushes today just because I like working with those a little better. So I think I want to give this shade another try today. It doesn't really say what they are. I don't have shade names or anything, but my issue with this gorgeous neon-y looking shade last time was that it looks like it's going to be super green, but when I put it on my eye, it looked yellow. So I thought that was very interesting. I usually have the opposite issue with neon shades, whereas that they look yellow in here, but then they look green on the eye. So this is kind of a bit of an opposite issue, but let's give it a try again. Who knows? Maybe it was something to do with my base that day, and I really do like this shade, so I want to try it again. Let's use my Glisten Cosmetics number 6 brush. See, even when you wet it, it still looks very green to me. I don't know. Is this a whole white and gold versus black and blue dress situation? It might be. You'll have to let me know what shade this looks like to you, because to me, it looks like super limey green, but okay, let's see what it looks like on my eyes. I don't have any primer on my eyes or anything, just because that's normally what I do when I try out water activated liners. So let's give it a go. I want to do a really long and thick line. Ooh, okay. I already like the way this is applying so much better using my Glisten number 6 brush than when I used their brush last time, so sorry Suva. But like I said, that was only one of their brushes, but that applied much more pigmented. I found when I used their brush last time, I lost pigmentation halfway through my swipe and I had to go in again. But yeah, that is pretty opaque. I can definitely see a little bit of patchiness, so I am gonna go over it just one more time. I might even just wet my brush. You know, I'll put a little more product on the brush, but I'm not gonna super swirl it around like I did last time because it's pretty opaque, but I just have a couple patchy spots. Right, so this is technically my second layer. See, this is so interesting now because I'm looking at the shade on camera and I'm like, that looks super yellow, but now I'm looking in my mirror and it also looks super yellow, dang it. But then I look at it here and it looks super green, but when I hold them next to each other, I'm like, I I don't know. It definitely feels like a white and gold versus black and blue dress sort of thing. It's a beautiful color no matter what. Like, I'm not knocking it. I think this is just a color theory thing where maybe because it's in this pink packaging, it looks more green, but when it's on my bisque colored skin, I just said bisque because that's my foundation shade and my LA Girl foundation. When it's against my bisque colored skin, maybe that's why it looks more yellow. Either way, it's a beautiful shade and I really like how it applied with this brush. All right, look at my water. It looks radioactive. The water looks greener than the liner on my eyes. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna stop focusing on this color theory thing. And now I'm going to dip into this gorgeous sky blue shade. I haven't tried this one before. Ooh, as I wet it, it looks like it's gonna be a little more pastel than I expected. Will this be a good color combination? Only time will tell. How did I mix that in with the yellow? Oh my gosh. They have like a divider between the two shades here, but I just wasn't looking. It's totally, that is 100% on me. Okay, we're just gonna dip into the blue. Ooh, okay, wow. Ooh, those look really pretty together. I was worried, as I just told you, and now I feel like, I know I just said I would stop talking about the color theory, but the blue is making the green look more green. I can't stop talking about color theory. It's really fascinating and it's really on trend right now. So I'll be sure to let you know once these all, you know, dry down and I finish up the look how they wear, because my main concern usually with neons and pastels is that they tend to be more prone to cracking. Now, I don't remember having too much of an issue with cracking the first time I used this neon shade, but I have not used this pastel shade before, so let's just give it a fresh chance today, shall we? I want to say the neon might have cracked a little bit last time I used it, but I really layered it up last time because I did not like the brush that I was using and I felt like I had to go in so many times, so this time I was able to get it done with like 2 layers, which is usually my recommendation when people ask me how to get their liners to stop cracking, is just to not layer them up too much. You know, even with my favorite water activated liner formula, which is from Glisten Cosmetics, you have a limit with how many layers you can do. Like, no matter how good the formula is, you can't expect to layer out the liner 6 times and not have it crack. It's just not realistic. It's the same with foundation. You know, you put on 6 layers of foundation, it's gonna look cakey and it's gonna look cracky. All right, now I'm gonna switch to a slightly smaller brush. This is the Glisten Cosmetics number 3 brush because I wanna do a wing, but don't worry, we're gonna do something fancy with it. I'm like feeling myself fall into a usual graphic liner pattern and I have to be out there. I have to be unique constantly. It is a key part of my personality. It is a key part of being a Sagittarius moon, is that I need to constantly switch up my routine. But we are going to start with the wing, and I want to use this really pretty peachy pastel shade because on my skin tone it's gonna be like somewhat undetectable. You'll detect it, but it's, you know what, let me just do it. I've used this shade before. I did like it last time. Bert keeps trying to like lick my liners, so every time I'm done using it I have to like fully close it. Do you want to be on my lap? Look at my big boy, he wants to be in the video so bad. Can I do a wing with a cat on my lap? We shall see. Okay, so I love getting to hug your little head. He does not though. Okay, now he's down. Anyways, let's do my wing. This shade makes me think of summertime. Just, this is like such a summer shade to me. It's so pretty. Okay, I need a little more water. If you ever find that your liner is like skipping or dragging a little bit, it usually means that your brush isn't wet enough, so you don't need to get any more product. Just dip your brush into a little more water. Now this shade is a little less opaque after the first layer. I definitely feel like there's some spots where you can see my skin through a little bit. I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but I can see close up in my mirror that there's some spots where my skin is showing, so I am going to dip into a little more product to build it up. It's not super patchy or anything. There's just like one spot here where I can definitely tell it's a little sheer. Pastel formulas and water activated liner are so wild. You can like tell as you're putting them on that they're thicker than a non-pastel shade. It must be that white base. At least that would be my guess. Super pretty. See, I only needed like one more layer to make it opaque, so I'm still pretty happy with that. Okay, actually I do take it back. I do have one spot right here that's being a little stubborn for whatever reason. It like doesn't want to fill in with the pigment, so I'm going in with one more layer here and hopefully that'll help. Maybe it's something to do with the oils on my lid. I don't think it's going to be noticeable from a distance at all, and I feel like I have pretty much fixed it. But yeah, this is the first shade so far that I'm like, struggling to build it up a little bit. Let me try the other side. Maybe it's a situation where there's just like oils on my face. Very possible. I didn't use a mattifying primer or anything. And I get asked this a lot, like, do you use a primer under your water activated liner? And typically my answer is no, because I like to be able to fix my mistakes very easily. And with water activated liner, they're water activated, but they're also water deactivated. So if you don't put a primer or anything on, then if you make a mistake, you can literally just take a wet Q-tip and wipe it away. And it's so easy to fix. And I like to allow myself that opportunity more often than not. You know, I'm not having the issue with the patchiness on the outside of the wing over here. So it was probably just oils on my lid on this side. All right, for my next shade, I want to dip into this pastel purple here. So my idea is I want to do a little like, wee. I want to do a little wee. It's a great way of explaining. I want to do a little loop connecting these, okay? Yeah, you get what I'm trying to do here, right? Bert, what are you doing? Oh, I can hear him getting into things. What are you doing? He knocked over my little dropper bottle. It's fine. That purple is definitely gonna need one more layer, which is typically my experience with pastel purples across the board. They usually need to be layered up. Oh no, did you step on my computer? There's like a bunch of code on my computer right now. Okay, we'll figure that out later, Bert. There we go, that's layering up really nicely. Do not knock over my deodorant. Knocked over my deodorant. All right, that looks super cool. Okay, let me do the same thing on the other side. I added some fun little touches with the purple on my inner corner. Honestly, I'm sorry I didn't record it. I was so hyper focused. I really had to pay attention. Stop eating my garbage, please. Now I know I could definitely stop here and probably should stop here, but I want to use this gorgeous Peachy duochrome and just go over that peachy pastel shade a little bit. Bert, please stop eating my trash. Do your cats eat garbage? My cat is constantly trying to eat my garbage. I don't know why. It's to get attention. I know why. Super pretty. I love that it makes it like more of a neon shade. I feel like this ties together the look even more. And it's pretty sheer duochrome. I mean, I'm putting it over another shade. I guess I should probably give you a swatch of it on its own too. I'm still having some patchiness issues with this side, but I really think it's just oils on my face. Let's see. Here is what the duochrome looks like on its own. Honestly, still pretty pigmented on its own. I don't know how well it's popping. It would probably pop more with the cool tone shade, but this duochrome does have some blue-green flecks in it, which is really cool. I keep calling it a duochrome. I don't know if it's supposed to be a duochrome. It's not really like giving a flip, but it does have like different colored flecks of shimmer in it. So whatever you would call that, I guess maybe that's just a peachy shimmer, but it's a very unique shade to my collection. I feel like it's kind of moving around the pastel peachy shade a little bit. I would say of all the shades I've tried, this pastel peach is my least favorite one. I do have a shade from Causemetics called Cake Pop that I like the formula of a little bit better, if I'm being fully honest with ya. But I am a big fan of this peachy shimmer still. All right, I think that's gonna be it for my water activated liner for now, but let's finish up this eye look together. I'm gonna take a little bit of my pressed multi-chrome from Causemetics. This is the shade Beauty Sleep. I call this one lightning in a multi-chrome because it is so powerful and bright, and it's kind of got like an orangey yellow green flip to it, so I feel like it'll go really nicely with this look, but without being too distracting. I think that's why I don't wear multi-chromes more, because I wear so much graphic liner and multi-chromes are just so powerful that I'm like, I don't want them to distract from each other. But Causemetics has a really good selection of like iridescent multi-chromes that I feel like work really nicely with graphic liners. I'm all about trying to find balance in my looks. I like them to be super bold, but I don't want one thing to be so distracting that you don't notice the other thing, or that you feel like there's just like too much going on. I shouldn't use the phrase too much though, because I don't believe in too much, but I do believe in balance. I feel like I'm just putting my foot in my mouth. Let me just stop talking. Bert, what are you doing? He's trying to break my notebook. He's trying to destroy my notes. That's not very gentlemanly, Bertram. Oh, now he's like, no, what are you talking about? I was just licking my paw. I wasn't destroying your notes. Love you. All right, my lovely friends, I took some time to finish off the rest of my face. I love what I did with the lashes today. I went in with my Glisten Spectra lash in the white shade, and then I went over it with the shades that I used above and below my lashes so that I could match it exactly. I filmed a tutorial for Instagram, so go follow me over there. Shameless plug for my Instagram. But yeah, I love the way the finished look turned out. Love the shape I've got going on here. But more importantly, we gotta zoom in because I am seeing I have a little bit of cracking going on this blue shade. Not as much, you know what, probably equally as much on the other side. I'd say a little bit less on this side than this side. I think I must have layered it up more on this side. So I wouldn't say it's my favorite pastel formula, if I'm being totally honest with you, but I do still really like it. My favorite shade out of all of them is absolutely this neon green shade. I think it's a phenomenal neon formula. Of all of the neons I've used, I've experienced the least cracking with this one, and the fact that it's so opaque right from the get is super impressive. So if I had to recommend one shade to you that I think is the most unique to my collection, that I can see myself reaching over and over again, it's definitely this first shade up here. And I love the duochrome. I keep calling it a duochrome. I don't think it's a duochrome. That shimmery peach shade is my second favorite. I absolutely love that. I want to try wearing that on its own next time. Also, I just want to point out that my two favorite shades that I've tried from Suva Beauty come together in a duo. That gorgeous peachy duochrome, as I was calling it, and the gorgeous neon green shade come together in a shade called Doodle Dash for $15. And you know what? The purple did really well. The only shades I really had issues with were that peachy pastel shade, which was just, you know, a little patchy, kind of hard to build up, and this blue shade is showing a little bit of cracking, but I think that can easily be solved with me layering it a little bit less next time, because as I mentioned earlier, pastel water activated liners just tend to be a little thicker, so you definitely have to layer them less across the board with all of the pastels that I've tried. So good note to self for me, but I don't think it looks too bad from a distance at all. You can really only tell super close up. I don't think you can see any cracking from back here. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed my time playing with these Suva liners. I'm going to continue to play around with them so I can give you my 10th impressions. Suva was very kind to give me an affiliate code with them, so if you already know and love Suva and you want to save 20% next time you shop, you can use my code GLAMGEO. That's my Instagram handle for those of you who don't follow me over there. The full handle is at GLAMGEONYC, but they gave me the code GLAMGEO and I would earn a commission off of that. But yeah, like I said, definitely recommend that neon shade for sure, and you can use my code GLAMGEO to save 20%. And I thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, do me a favor, give it a big thumbs up. Go watch my last video. I started a new series where I'm going through all of the Taylor Swift eras and doing makeup looks inspired by them. My first video was for Lover, and I'm such a Lover stan, so it was just so much fun to put together. I did a really creative avant-garde look for that. It was super fun. Check out my description box for all of the makeup details of all of the makeup on my face today. I've been testing out these Kaja blushes that they sent me, and I'm such a big fan. They're so pretty. I'm wearing a Kaja lip too, so definitely check out all the products I'm wearing down below. And also my description box, I will have my social justice links, so please click on those if you haven't yet. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!